How are you feeling tonight? Awesome. Ooh, I love the energy of this room. So I'm Mirella, I'm from the campus team. Welcome to campus. Before I continue, can you tell me who's been to campus before? Awesome. So in a few words, campus is hub for startups and entrepreneurs, and we are run for Google for entrepreneurs. We are very happy to have CcHUB here tonight with us, who's our global partner, and very happy to welcome all the startups from PitchDrive. Like, you guys are in for a treat. I've been listening to those guys the whole day, and they are amazing. So before we give them a big applause, I want to also say thank you to Mike Simpson, who's our panelist, who's the investment director of African Capital Investment, which is a full-service merchant bank covering sub-Saharan Africa. I'm reading this because I don't want to mess it up. And a big welcome and thank you to Amea, who's the principal investment at Omidyar Network, which is a global impact hub. So feel free to grab them after this, and I'm sure they have a lot of interesting things to say to you. So I'm not going to take more of your time. I'm going to hand it over to Bosun from CcHUB.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but we're on the tour of 5 European cities, and this is the first one. So we're really pleased with what we're seeing here. We thank you for turning up tonight. I'm pretty sure you guys will agree with me that technology is disrupting our world in an unprecedented way. I'm sure you guys will agree. And one other thing perhaps that you agree with is that this disruption is being powered by a movement of entrepreneurs. People who believe that they can build the world they want to live in, that they want to see in technology. And the exciting thing is that this movement is no longer unique to certain locations, which used to be the case in technology. You now have traditionally unlikely places also taking part in that disruption. A good example, of course, is Africa. At CcHUB, we've spent the last 7 good years, with the support of organizations like Google, through Google for Entrepreneurs, building what we think is a platform and an organization that is able to identify, invest in, but also empower people to build the world that they want to live in. That's what we've been doing for the last 7 years. And we think it's about time to show you guys a glimpse of what's been happening within that ecosystem that we've invested heavily in. Not only from the city where we come from, which is Lagos, Nigeria. There's a lot of it happening in Nairobi, in Kampala, in Cape Town, in Johannesburg. You know, everywhere you look across the continent, you see a lot of it happening. So what you're going to witness here today are 14 carefully selected entrepreneurs. And I mean it when I say carefully selected. These guys are serious about what they're building. They're already businesses, they've been in the market, they're not necessarily very early stage. They're already making money, causing change in Africa and beyond, not just Africa. And I'll invite you to listen to their mission. Try as much as possible to find a way for you to also support them. Because it's actually not easy to take on the mission to change our world. It is not easy. We always all think that startup founders are about building something that will turn into a big organization and make them money. I think for most of the serious ones that we come across is about change. It's about doing something that can add value to the lives of so many other people. And they need our support. So I'm going to invite you guys, the way you warmly decided to honor the whole of Africa to be here today, I'm inviting you to also warmly support them when they come on stage. My name, again, for those that may not know, is Bosun Tigani. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Corporation Hub, and I welcome you all to PitchDrive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bosun. So to support an army of entrepreneurs coming out of the continent. CcHUB at the end of last Q4 of 2016 set up a $5 million fund. And for some of the entrepreneurs we'll be listening to today, we're leading their seed round. And so what we would like to do is invite you to invest alongside us to ensure that they can build these really big businesses that will change the face of Africa and the world. So again, you're most welcome. My name is Adetunji Elesho, and I'm the managing partner of CcHUB Growth Capital. So the flow for today, we're going to be listening to 14 entrepreneurs, and the way we're going to go about it is each person will come out here, pitch for about 3.5 minutes, and then we'll take a comment from our panel, and then 2 questions tops from the audience, and then we'll cycle it that way. That way we get the opportunity to listen to everyone. So, without further ado, can we give it up for Trevor of Hungary?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Trevor Kimenya, and I want to take you guys somewhere. To the last time when you had to call your bank to report maybe your card was stolen and you were kept on hold. Your call is important to us. Please hold the line. You know? We all hate that. Is there anybody here who loves being kept on hold? No? Yeah, I thought so. So that's what we're trying to change at Hungary. By giving businesses a way to communicate with their customers faster. And the way that we've chosen is messaging. But businesses have another problem. They're getting overwhelmed by the amount of messages they're getting. And as consumers, we want faster response times and more ways we can communicate with businesses. And this is why. There's so many of these apps that we have on our phones. WhatsApp, WeChat, Telegram, Messenger. And it's difficult for businesses to keep track of where all their customers are communicating with them. Over 3 billion of us use these apps every month. So what we do at Hungary is we provide them with a platform where they can aggregate all the messages from all those networks we've shown you, and then they can automate repeat inquiries. We've designed a CRM where every message gets to the right customer service agent and you're able to get a response in good time. In addition to that, we provide the businesses with analytics and insights so we can tell them how quickly they're responding to their customers and whether the customers are happy with the level of service they're getting. I talked about automation, repeat inquiries, questions like, where is my closest bank location? What time is the branch open? We free up the customer service agents to be able to deal with more pressing inquiries by deploying bots which are built using artificial intelligence. Our business model is very simple. You can sign up on our website and get a 2-week trial period. It takes 5 minutes to set up. By the time I finish this presentation, you can already be running on Hungary. We charge $29 per month for the smallest package, which is normally targeted at 2 customer service agents, and that grows all the way to 119 for 10 customer service agents. We have larger enterprises like banks and financial institutions who require us to integrate these channels into their internal systems. We normally charge them starting from about $1,000 per month. And these are some of the customers we have, and these are from all over the world. So we've got Barclays on the whole. And we're powering the customer service in Kenya, and we're hoping by the end of the year to do that across 7 countries in Africa. And they love it. One of my favorite customers tells me, I've been using this platform for 2 years and they cannot consider using anything else. For the last 2 years, we moved really, really quickly. We've got about 8 channels that can be integrated on our platform. We've also integrated with existing customer service providers like Zendesk, who have about 80,000 customers worldwide. We've also handled over 2 billion incoming messages on our platform since we launched. Our revenue is great. As I said, we've got 800 customers from about 55 countries. And in 2015, we did 90,000. And this year, we're on target to do about $600,000 in revenue. Our monthly recurring revenue is growing consistently. At the end of last month, we did about $35,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And we're expecting to hit about $50,000 in monthly recurring revenue by early next year. So who's behind Hungary? I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hungary. I'm a software engineer with about 10 years of experience in Australia. And I moved back to Kenya to set up this company. My co-founder, Charles, is a seasoned marketing and advertising executive. One thing I'll let you guys know is we actually ran a company together for the last 3 years before we did on care, and we exited that business. In addition to that, we've got Lily, our head of operations, who makes sure all those customers get served well. The market that we're going after is really big. There's about 100 million businesses using social media and messaging applications worldwide. CRMs are about a $325 billion industry in the world. In addition, after ERPs, this is the most deployed enterprise software out there. And we're looking, in our markets, we're looking, especially in sub-Saharan Africa and Southeast Asia, at about $1 or $2 billion in terms of the market that we can address. These are some of the other competitors who are looking at this space. So we have companies like Front, that's a Silicon Valley-based one, and Grata, that's based in Southeast Asia, who we compete on really strongly. One of the things that's unique about our product, as I said, it takes 5 minutes, it's ready for business. It's not a technical solution which takes a long time to deploy, and it's also affordable, and businesses can use it as they grow. We feel that we need your help. Our numbers right now already look really good. We're expecting to finish about $600,000 in revenue, and next year to do $2.4 million. But to get there, we need some help from you guys. So we're raising $1.5 million, primarily to fund our sales and marketing and to build our technical experience. So I'm hoping some of you guys brought your checkbooks today. There is in the room one of my existing investors, so if anybody wants to do a reference check, I can introduce you to him. But thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Give it up for Trevor.
It's great that you build your client list and traction and super presentation, really. I get happy whenever I see a B2B business because I burned my fingers with B2C businesses, so it's great. A quick question/comment, which is, how many of your customers, how many of those 460 in 2016 have signed up from the platform versus how many have you had to build custom integrations? And for the custom integrations, what's the sales cycle?
So the custom integrations, which are the larger accounts, take a very long time. It took me almost 7 months to close Barclays. So those tend to take a very, very long time, and they're a smaller fraction of them. So I'd say about 10% of our customer base is currently custom. The rest are just single signups on our website.
So just one quick piece of advice for the $1.5 million, the runway you're imagining, overestimate the sales cycle because it doesn't get smaller, as it's not the same thing as variable cost. It will keep increasing because you hit the ones that are easier first. And so the sales cycle increases, and therefore estimate capital requirement based on that. That's all. Otherwise, great.
Thank you. The raise we're targeting is really to go after those higher value ones. So that's
Yeah, I want to echo that comment, which outstanding presentation, well presented, all the data was there. I love it when all the numbers are available. I don't have to ask for them. So that was great. First question: how do you measure the end customer's happiness for your customers?
So we have the stats that we primarily track NPS and CSAT. So we're tracking whether they're happy with that interaction and whether they're able to recommend their customers. And it's just a question. So after that interaction, we take a random sample. We ask them, "Are you happy with the service?" And then they reply via the message, and then we display that to the customer. So it's pretty standard what we're taking from call centers and just applying it to messaging.
And it's pretty automated with the bots, etc.
Yes.
Of your 3 pricing models, which is the most popular?
The $49 plan.
Okay, that's the middle one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I guess one piece of advice that I've seen companies either thrive or fail is when they get the pricing wrong, and so that's something always to be tracking, always to be thoughtful of, and it's hugely beneficial to have people on your board, your advisory board, etc., that have been through the business before, because they can normally make a quick tweak to pricing that can make a huge difference.
Thank you.
But otherwise, great.
Okay, thank you very much. Can we get a question from the audience, if any?
I'm coming here with.
Okay.
Can you say your name?
Hi, I'm Alfred Toshi. Hi. I was looking at the number of customers you have, and revenue per customer seems low in terms of your pricing. feels to me that your pricing model is on the high end. That's just a comment, but I'd love to get why you price it the way you have. The second point is around the data analytics you're collecting and what you're doing around using the data to actually enhance the product roadmap to help provide new products and services to the customers.
Okay, so the first question about the pricing, we feel like we want to start pushing higher value ones, especially because of our cost of acquisition. So if it takes me about $200 to get a customer who's paying me $50, it'll take me a while to recover that. So we want to focus more on the larger value ones. It's just that some of these smaller ones are low-hanging fruit and easy for us to acquire. So in the later years, that's why the numbers, if you looked at them, we'll get to 2,000 customers and our revenue will almost be 4 times what we have. And we haven't necessarily doubled or quadrupled the number of customers. So we're projecting to move to the higher value ones. In terms of the product features and the roadmap, I used to have a slide with what we have. Our customers tend to be very clear in terms of what they want. And sometimes we observe their own behavior. So we have analytics and tracking tools which tell us what features they're using, and they're able to communicate with us. One thing that I like about Organized is we use it internally ourselves. So we are our first customer. So they use it to get in touch with us, and we learn from that to drive our roadmap.
Okay, just one more question from the audience, and then.
You can say your name and where you're from, please.
My name is Abdul. How do you manage changes that are requested by the customers in terms of, because I work in CRM, and customers tend to have different requests around what they want to do and how the changes. So how do you manage that for the different customers?
So as I say, the customizations are only really targeted at that 10% of the customers that we're doing right now. And the ticket size for them tends to be worth our while to do it. The rest of the customers just use the self-service option as it is right now. But we sort of collate, if somebody suggests a feature and we see, yeah, this can be relevant to another 100 customers, then we prioritize and implement it. But right now we're only dealing with the high priority sort of, the high value clients in terms of customization. But I understand your problem. Everybody wants this one feature and everybody thinks they're a snowflake and their processes are completely different. But we sort of prioritize based on the value that they create.
Okay, a big round of applause for Trevor. Okay, next, would like to welcome Tammy of LifeBank. A round of applause.
I went to CcHUB in Yawa yesterday, and I met this woman, Temi Yu, who's building this company, LifeBank. Right? It organizes blood donations so that people can give blood, and it gets them to people who need them. And you meet someone like that, and you're just like, oh, this is a thing that needs to exist. Right? And if everyone had the opportunity to build something like this, then the world would be a better place. It turns out, so I've been to a lot of different cities, I think that people all around the world are trying to build stuff like that. If she can actually pull it off, then she'll show a model that will impact not just Lagos and not just Nigeria, but countries all around the world. Right? And if you had everyone on the internet, then you'd have more shots at getting that right.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I thought I'd let Mark introduce me. So we did the math. About 41,000 Africans die every single day because their doctors could not find the medical products they need. Blood means life, and not getting access to this product on time literally means life and death. And people are trying to solve the problem themselves. Usually they go online, they search Twitter and Facebook, looking for people who can give blood. Now, a lot of times, but before they find the donor, it's almost always too late. So the patient is already dead. The reason why is because the system is opaque and inefficient. You can see so many different ways that hospitals use to get the blood, and a lot of times it causes delay. Our solution is simple. We gather medical information, supply information about these products. We deploy the information into the hands of our clients, our hospital clients. We move the products in the right condition, cold chain condition, to the hospital in the short amount of time, usually 55 minutes in Lagos. We help hospitals save time, save lives, and save money. We've done it for Sergeant James, and for Mrs. Johnson, for Mrs. Abiola, and for Mr. O. Our system, the system we're building, literally makes the things more efficient and makes it seamless for hospitals. Our market is large. Blood alone is about 1.2 billion in Africa. We think that if we're able to get blood right, we can also transfer our technology and our expertise to oxygen as well as vaccine. Our model is simple. Hospitals pay what they have, what they can. The richer hospitals in the bigger cities pay for the smaller ones in the rural areas. We've been in existence for 15 months. We've moved about 6,000 pints as of today. 6,000 pints to about 118 hospitals. We're raising $1 million to focus on the African market and win it. We have a city plan. We focus on one city, then we move to the next. I'm so excited to lead this amazing team. I have about 10 years of experience in supply chain at WHO, at UNDP, as well as Lagos State Government. And combined, we have about 20 years of experience on our team. And thank you.
Woo!
Timmy, that's fantastic and inspirational stuff. I think we can all agree on that, and I agree with Marcus. So, a question, which didn't quite come out in the presentation, is what's the revenue model?
All right, so we charge per unit of product we move to the hospital, and we charge between $10 and $15. Some of the hospitals are like smaller hospitals, so we charge them about $2.
Okay. Yeah, so one suggestion I would have is bring that front and center on it, because you might show this to investors and they would think, well, this is a charity, and that puts it in a different bucket for them. You want to obviously come across as an impact business, I would say. But otherwise, really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, great stuff.
Thank you, this is great. One thing that I didn't quite get is yours a technology product? Is just the platform, or do you also manage the logistics?
So it's both. We have a platform, we gather all the medical information, and then we deploy it in a web app to our clients so they can order on the web app.
But they're just ordering, and you're not on the hook for delivery in the right time?
We deliver. So we are both a technology business and a logistics business.
Okay.
Because even if they order, we have to get it to them in the right condition and on time. So we do both.
Okay, so that I think is important to highlight because I think those are slightly different businesses with different capital requirements and so on and so forth, but I agree with you that they need to be done together. I think you will have a challenge finding the right investors. That's the biggest challenge I see, who are bringing more than just money and who understand your business and are able to make connections. So think carefully about who you want on your board and what kind of investors you want to have.
Any takers?
Okay, thank you very much. Now we go to the audience. Question, comment? Quickly, we'll take a couple.
Can you please say your name and are you an investor or founder?
Hi, I'm Sanjay Joshi, philanthropist, possible investor, and founder. I'm just interested to know if you could expand on, without LifeBank, what is currently happening and what other competitors, if any?
All right, so without LifeBank, what hospitals do is, so if you take the core of our business, discovery and delivery. So discovery, they would literally pick up a phone and call all the blood banks they know, right? So they're not gathering the information, the stock information. So they will call, manually call, usually that causes delay and patients die by the time they finally find a blood bank that has the stock that they need. Some of the hospitals will just tell the family of the patient to just go find the blood. So that's the discovery bit. The delivery bit is the bigger hospitals will have some sort of fiduciary responsibility, would send their ambulances to go pick up the blood. The rest of the people, the rest of the hospitals will just tell the family of the patients to go bring it. So, or they will send like a cleaner to go bring it. So it's usually not cold chain. That causes a lot of delay. So what we do is basically we've gathered the medical information, the supply information. We already know. Today, I know where all the blood in Lagos is, right? And I have that information, and I deploy that information on our web app to our client. And we also deliver, and we deliver in the right condition, and we do it in 55 minutes. So we have these bikes that move in and out of traffic in Lagos and get to the hospital quickly, and quickly enough to save the patient's life.
So there's no other company doing this?
There's no other company doing this. The only company that's maybe similar to what LifeBank does in the West is Circle, and they move medical products for big NHS hospitals. Yeah, we're the first in Africa, and hopefully the best.
One more question?
My name is Gila Kony. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Gila Kony. I'm an investor, and I have a company here in London. I really think, I just want to emphasize what the two gentlemen have said. You have so much there. I went to Lagos. I've been spending time in Lagos. You have so much there. It really needs to come across in a much more powerful way. Because until the questions, we didn't really get it. You have an incredible business there. But as an investor, if I didn't know Lagos, I wouldn't know. So, excuse my boldness in pushing you. You really need to bring that across much, much more. It's huge. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Just so that we can press on with time, I'd like us to welcome Jules from Real Food.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jules, and I'm the co-founder of a startup called Real Food from Zimbabwe. So, contrary to popular belief, healthy eating is not only an issue in the Western world, but is currently one of the rising causes of lifestyle-related diseases, obesity, unhealthy eating. So, Real Food is going to be the innovation that changes the way Africa eats. So, you all in here today know that healthy eating is important, but why aren't we all doing it? So obviously we have no time to shop, we're stuck in a food rut, eating the same old things. We're wasting more food than we eat, so often you'll go to a store, you need 2 apples or a few lettuce leaves, you'll end up buying the whole thing and wasting most of it. Also, believe it or not, even in Africa, our food travels from around the world to get to us. In addition, there's a simple fact that a lot of us can't cook, and we waste time and money on ingredients that aren't local or to our region. So at Real Food, we believe you are what you eat, no matter what you do, no matter what your lifestyle and your class. So what do? We are the solution. So we provide convenient, innovative, healthy eating solutions of farm-to-table, locally sourced produce and meat in the form of recipe boxes, as well as locally sourced extras. So what does this look like? It is 3 recipes and all the ingredients that you need to cook them with, down to a single tiny garlic clove. This is obviously not a new thing. Proof of concept has been shown by HelloFresh and Mindful Chef, being valued at over $2 billion in the Western world. So we're hoping that Real Food will be that to Africa. We also have other homemade extras. We have sauerkraut, kombucha, kimchi, and now we've recently added homemade soups. So we want to facilitate that whole lifestyle of feeling healthy through your food. So far we've been in operation for 15 months and our customers love it. And we love it too because we're operating on about a 40% gross profit margin, and we're expanding each and every month. So lately, we've opened up Real Food as a brand not only to products but to services. We'd like to facilitate an entire ecosystem of healthy food and healthy eating. So we have Real Food Catered, that we do healthy catering for events, as well as cooking classes, which interestingly enough, in Zimbabwe, a lot of people still have help and staff. So due to popular demand, we do cooking classes for them. So we're trying to upskill as many people as we can. So where this gets really exciting is that Real Food is launching the traditional box. So this will be focusing on Zimbabwean flavors, like recipes that are based around what's in season and what the local market usually eats. In Africa, as you may or may not know, cooking is a huge part of a woman's role in the household, and no matter how educated or urbanized they become, it's still a value that needs to be upheld and is upheld. Also, we'll be branching out into ready-made kids' lunchboxes, as well as corporate meals for the office. Above and beyond all of that, 4 million Zimbabweans live in the diaspora, and they miss the taste of home. So we'd like to transform our website not only from an order platform for recipe boxes for the local market, but also as an e-commerce platform for the Zimbabweans in the diaspora. Not necessarily of fresh produce, but of other local Zimbabwean products that they miss so much. My awesome team and I, we've all studied and worked overseas, and we're very passionate about bringing that experience and that service and that quality delivery back to Africa and into Real Food. So far, as I mentioned, we've been profitable for 15 months. Our current market size is 1,500 households. With our added product lines, this will scale quickly up to 50,000. And our e-commerce platform for Zimbabweans in the diaspora is about 4 million, but maybe we think about, well, we don't think. Our research shows that 1 million of them would be interested in shopping online from home. Noting how small our current market is in Zimbabwe due to a number of factors, we know that we can use this as a great testing ground to see how supply chain works from farm to table in Africa, and then scale it out to Zambia, which is a very similar market to Zimbabwe, and then take on the big market, which is good old South Africa. So we are looking for $150,000 in seed. This is our first round of funding. Access to mentorship, and a long-term partner who can really see our vision for Africa, see what we can do, and see that there's no other real brand leading the way in healthy eating. We have a plan to upgrade our technology, operations and transport, as well as that will help with our working capital, which will allow us time and the resources to focus on that regional development. So as you see, according to our plan, our schedule, we would like to launch Real Food in Zambia within 21 months. So thank you for your time.
Our panelists.
Thank you, Jules. The first few slides made me very sad. Started reflecting on my eating habits. But one quick piece of advice. I think you really need to put in some economics here. I don't know how much your box costs. Frankly, I don't buy these boxes because I think they're too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was glad to see that you acknowledged that the market size is tiny in Zimbabwe because of, and you really need to show, given the economics of the box, etc., how you're going to scale to 50,000. Because I'll tell you that if a venture capitalist goes to their IC and says we're looking at a market of expanded market of 50,000 households, it's not really a venture business. So, and then that ramp up to 1 million is really important. And so therefore, how does your economics shift when you become a seller on a website as opposed to a farm to table shop? All of that is really important, even in the 3 minutes. That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that. There wasn't information enough on the pricing, costs, expansion plan stuff. I want to repeat that. I've got a couple other questions. I mean, first of all, you're in the right sector. I think HelloFresh is, probably the highest growing company in Europe, and great business model. The challenges that are different in Africa are ensuring the credentials of your suppliers. So that's, I guess, the first question: how do you do that? And how do you handle logistics? Because clearly, you're not, as developed an ecosystem of logistics.
Yeah, those are very real problems in Africa. So as far as it goes at the moment, because we're still quite small, we've actually gone out to see all the farms individually. They aren't really, as they are in Africa, standard or a lot of agencies that check, especially when it comes to organic. We're trying to go towards that. But so we vet it ourselves currently, and my co-founder is an ex-farming family, so she knows all about those things. But obviously that will come with due training, with scale. We can create our own system that we vet the farmers before that. And then currently our delivery model is quite basic, so we use a little flatbed motorbike so that he can navigate the roads, because cars and petrol obviously is not as easily accessible as it is here.
Yeah, that's great. I think on the supply side, HelloFresh is very specific about keeping the supplier, analysis in-house, and they've got a team that does it, and they take that cost on the chin, and customers love that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great way to do it. And then, logistics is really, I think, a big challenge that you'll have to figure out as you scale.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to the audience. Any hands? Can we have Mike?
Hi, my name is Sam Barrow. I'm an entrepreneur. Just a comment, echoing what was said before by the panel, the previous speaker, is be really fussy about investors you take. Because getting embedded with an investor is like getting married. It's a long-term relationship, and it's not so much about the money. And if it doesn't work out, it's going to be business, and that's a lesson you really don't want to learn the hard way. So, and you've got a great business. So be willing to say no to someone who doesn't fit you. That's the main thing, just say no if they don't fit, because there'll be people nothing.
Okay, one more question from the audience, if any. Okay.
Can you say your name or your question or order?
I'm Joe. I'm an entrepreneur. I was going to ask, for your e-commerce platform, how do you, and it's to the diaspora, right? So you then be shipping outside of Africa, if I'm correct. How would you manage that kind of logistics?
So to start off with, we would avoid anything that needs a cold chain or that sort of the fussy stuff. So it'll just be your sort of standard mail service delivery, jars packed in boxes with styrofoam. Nothing fancy to start off with. And I don't think, having a cold chain is not an option. It would just be basic Amazon delivery type packages.
Okay, thank you very much. Round of applause for you. Okay, next, a big round of applause for Dio.
Good evening, guys. My name is Olumide. Everyone calls me Dio, like you heard. I'm the founder CEO of Blue.ng. Blue.ng is Nigeria's biggest online supermarket, saves video makers the hassles of grocery shopping in African cities. Hassles such as long checkout queues at the few supermarkets, modern supermarkets you have, long commutes and heavy traffic in the city, as well as having to do multiple runs to complete a typical grocery stock for a typical household in African cities. And the reason you have this hassles is because you have a very low penetration of modern grocery retail outlets in African cities. Just for comparison, in Lagos, which is one of the typical cities you have, has penetration as low as 4% compared to like 80% you have in the UK and in the US. The solution Blue.ng provides is technology-based, data-driven merchandising platform that presents high-quality grocery products at affordable prices, but in such a way that the convenience beats all the options you currently have available to these busy markets in the cities. Now, grocery business in Africa is a huge $600 billion market. But what happens is that most of the consumption actually happens in the city. And Lagos, for example, being a tier 1 city, African tier 1 city, actually has a $10 billion addressable market to Blue Dot Energy. We have our business model is threefold. First is that we are an inventory-led business, similar to Amazon Fresh. Ocado.com, you guys are probably familiar with Ocado.com in the UK, but as well as Big Basket in India, which is much more closer to the Nigerian market. What this allows us to do is that it gives us very good control over gross margins and allows us the ability to be able to boost this over time. As well as the inventory-led model, we also have technology and data science baked into the business model in such a way as to enable high inventory turns and high delivery value densities as the basis for profitable unit economics. This has been proven by the fact that we had our first EBITDA profitable quarter, Q6 2016. Having tried several pure online models in terms of scaling distribution, one of the things we've settled on is that as far as online grocery play is concerned in Africa, you're going to end up having to do some bit of component of offline, and that's more or less what our scaling model is around. There are not too many, how would I put it, examples to really cite, but one good example I will cite in the e-commerce space is Wakana, that has done successfully well and has dominated the OTA market in Nigeria, having over 50% of that market, as well as in Africa. Now, as far as the global space is concerned, the same is actually being validated by the recent rush of acquisitions between the online and offline grocery place. The most recent and prominent is Amazon acquiring Whole Foods I think it's about four weeks ago. We've been in business 5 years, and this pretty much shows our traction. Starting off with about $30 average basket size, currently trending at about $130 for each basket that checks out of Blue Dot Energy. And our quarterly revenue shows us trending towards an annual run rate of about $1 million by Q4 2017. Now, most of that revenue I mentioned comes from repeat business. Over 80% of the business comes from repeat customers. As a matter of fact, the name of the business, Glue, actually comes from the fact that we observe that customers get glued to the service, and that's what the name, so it's homophone. And that shouldn't surprise you, because customers regularly give us NPS scores of 62, comparable to that you actually have for Amazon. Typical e-commerce business usually gets NPS of about half of this. I have a team, I lead a team of about 6 core team members with over 50 years plus experience, professional experience building businesses, and across functions that are particularly essential for a business such as Blue Dot Energy, from technology to the supply chain, to fulfillment operations, to sales, to marketing. I particularly have over 15 years building technology businesses and products in Africa. The first international payment card in West Africa, EcoBank MasterCard. I led the team that did it. And I also rolled out Visa products across 14 African cities as a divisional director for United Bank for Africa card business. Why now? Okay, so what we've done is that in the last 5 years, we've actually tried to figure out, what we've been doing is figuring out the business model that is workable for an African market. Amazon Fresh spent 8 years just focused on Seattle, trying to understand the business model for the online grocery player as well to be able to do. But since last year, they've scaled rapidly across, I'm aware of about 25 cities now, both in the US as well as they've also started in the UK. And I'm aware they've also started some place in India. So Blue Dot Energy is living in Seattle days now, and is now about to get to the point where you want to actually hyperscale these models that we've proven to also succeed as well. In order to do that, we've raised till date about $750,000 to actually prove out this business model, and we need $9 million to now focus on our immediate plan of rolling out to 5 Tier 1 cities in Africa in the next 3 years by 2020 to an annual revenue run rate of $15 million. Most of the fund will be used to scale distribution, but some of it is also to beef up our retail technologies, the data science value on what we do, as well as boost working capital to be able to support the revenue growth that we estimate we're going to be getting by that time. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Well, first of all, congrats on what you built. It's obviously, in a great great sector. It's happening. I think it's beautiful business. So I think you've got good things ahead of you. There wasn't any financials in the thing, which like what your revenue's been, what the cost has been, what your cash burn is. I think if you're asking for that amount of money, you need to have a lot of that stuff up front and be honest about it, because these guys will find out anyway. It's also a big enough amount of money where you're going to go to the big VCs as well, right? And so slightly shorter presentation probably, but all the great data is there, and I think it's fantastic presentation, and good luck. I think big things ahead.
Okay.
Thank you. I think this is a great business. I'm curious about your decision to go wholly inventory-led, because as you know, Grofers and Big Basket, all of these guys have a hybrid model so that they can fulfill the orders which they don't have in their inventory through the marketplace. So what led you to decide on a fully inventory-led model?
Okay. If you observe, I actually indicated the fact that there's actually very low penetration of modern retail formats. Such models require a deep penetration of the modern formats where you can go pick up the inventory with which to supply. Grofers, you actually reference as far as India is concerned. I actually started with the inventory-less model, picking up from locations. But ultimately what they realized is that because of the same fact that India has a very low penetration of this modern retail, Big Basket was really beating them. And what they've done is that they've left that old model and actually have moved to the model we're doing now, which is inventory-led. So they're actually 100% inventory-led business model now. Chowdal in Bangladesh is also done the same thing. They were inventory-led before, they went to YC, and then they converted to inventory-led. So
it's not an economic decision, but it's a decision based on the low penetration of places where you can pick it up. Correct. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take just one question from the audience, if there's any. Okay. Sorry.
Can you please say your name or your investor?
Hi, my name is Sally. I'm just here watching the pitches, unfortunately. You talked about artificial intelligence or like data-driven stuff, right? Sorry if you hear me properly. So I wanted to know to what degree you actually like integrated like AI automation into your sort of like your workflow, because I know with high automation that you can really see like profit margins.
Okay, so one of the things I mentioned is the fact that we've been able to blend what drives the business model is high inventory turns. So as far as the locations we deliver to, we can actually geofence a location, and if you want me to tell you what is the 50 fastest moving products, for example, in Lekki, I'll run out the numbers based on that geolocation. We have all the data as far as that is concerned. So that's what we've been collating for 5 years. So when I say we do it based on data science, that's what it actually means. Now for the offline locations, we're trying to blend on as onboarding ramps for customer. What this allows us to do is put the highest selling products that people typically buy in a particular location, so that when they're coming in, you already have the buying intent for the things that they typically buy, and then we use that to present them offerings to actually push them to the online platform. So that's
okay. Thank you very much, Dio. Please welcome Mafal from Firefly.
If you have been stuck in traffic for hours and hate it, please raise your hand. I am Mafal from Senegal, and I'm the CEO of Firefly, a startup that transformed the experience of bus passage in Africa. I have this student, Hadi. He takes every day 2 hours in buses. Do you know, in Lagos, they spend 35 hours a week in public transportation. This story is far from unique. 100 millions of people taking the bus every day in Africa. Imagine what it will be like in 2050, when there will be 3 more times people in African cities. So the question is, how can we help people to make this time spent on the road more productive? It is this problem that Firefly wants to solve. We built a platform that provided digital services to commuters through connected devices in buses. Our devices can display videos, collect data, and offer internet access to commuters. Our solution also, our platform also supports payment solution. Today, we have a 5-year exclusivity contract with the #1 public transport network in Senegal. We have 2,000 buses under management, and we have deployed 200 advertising devices in buses. Brands pay us to broadcast their spots on our networks. This is our first source of revenue. We also manage a fleet of payment devices that allowed commuters to do transaction while they're on the bus. We take commission on every transaction. All this data we collect from the devices, we centralize it in our platform, and we can monetize it to a lot of actors like telco operators. In 18 months, we have generated 45,000 euro for 140 bus owners through advertising. 80% of our clients are satisfied, and they plan to spend again money on our network. Last year, we make a turnover of 150,000 euro, and now on the track to multiply it per 3. All these results, it's thanks to our team. Our team is experienced, multicultural, and complementary. We accumulate over 40 years of experiences in digital transformation, advertising, and sales. Today, we want to raise 1.7 million euro to be in all buses in Senegal. We want to generate at least $5 per user, and in the next 5 years, we want to be in 11 countries and reach 100 million people every day in Africa. So we have today, I have a question for you. We have a roundtable. The Sovereign Fund of Senegal, the FONSIS, want to contribute in our ventures. And the question I have for you is, who amongst you going to participate in the digital transformation of transport in Africa? Thank you. Thank you.
Great business. Love it. Love it. And, can't stop thinking about augmented reality futures with people on the bus and stuff like that. So, how does the payment model work with, say, your main clients in Senegal?
Okay. In Senegal, you have conductors in buses. They sell tickets. So we give them devices, and they are able to sell airtime, mobile money, and other services, pay your bill, etc. And for example, if you want to send cash to your wife that you live at home, you come to the conductor, you give him the money, and he's able to transfer the money to your wife. And on this transaction, we take a fee of around 2%.
And do they buy the devices from you? Do you lease them the devices? How does that piece work?
No, we give them the device. We invest on the device and we give them to us.
Okay.
All the device we put in the business for free. And then we generate money with these devices.
So that's obviously something that any investor will zero down on, because that sounds like a capital intensive business, right? So figuring, I mean, once you get big enough, there's lots of financing options you'll be able to use for those devices, obviously, but that's something to be ready to answer, for sure.
Okay, thank you. One comment or question from the audience over there?
I'm an entrepreneur. So my name is Alfred, so she has there's a whole bunch of questions I have, but let me just one question about the business model, because you've got to get advertisers in. Are you building an advertising exchange? Or are you building a logistics business? Or are you building a payments business? Which business are you in? So
okay.
it's because it could be all three, it could be one, it could be the other. So that's my question. Therefore, that determines what your business model is and scale it is.
Okay. So the value we propose is to make the time you spend in the buses more productive. So the first market we address is the advertising market. So we build this network on which brands can broadcast their spot, and then we share the revenue 60-40 with the bus owner. So this is the first market we address. But when you're on the bus, you can look at other devices, but you also can do transaction. You also can connect it to internet. And in fact, this is how we think about our model. We just put devices and try to leverage on the time you spend, keep your attention to generate money with the attention you have when you are in the buses. So that's why we can have multiple sources of revenue in these buses, while the passenger is in the buses.
Okay. Yes.
I think the most interesting bit of your business is the Wi-Fi on the bus. And I think eventually the screens will shift into cell phones. But the fact that you're providing Wi-Fi and data costs are high is awesome. So stress on that a bit more when you present it, because that's really cool.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mafal. A big round of applause for Odun.
Hi everyone, my name is Odun Eweni and I'm the co-founder of PiggyBank.ng. This is Linda. Linda could be any one of us between the ages of 18 to 40. It was certainly me about 2 years ago. She is a middle income earner and she has a huge problem saving money, even though she has responsibilities like rent, like fees. The problem that we have across Africa is the inability to maintain a savings culture because of a combination of impulse buying, bad financial decisions, economic issues, and a general lack of financial discipline. That's where we come in. So in the past, people used to build wooden boxes and slot money into them periodically as a means of saving. But we are trying to bring that process online. So you think of piggy bank as a digital wooden box that pays you some interest. So to get onto our platform, a user just needs to go to our website, piggybank.ng, or download our app. And then they can perform 3 basic savings operations. They have the autosave, where they create a savings plan, and they tell us the debit time, the debit date, debit frequency, and the particular amount they want to save periodically. And we just automate that instruction, and every bit of time that they set, we take the money from their account. We have the quick save, where you manually control your savings, and you can come and deposit money into your piggy bank account by yourself. And then we have the safe lock. The safe lock operates in a way that where you have saved an amount of money on piggy bank and then you want to square it away until a particular day. So we take it away, give you interest up front, and then bring it back on your maturity day. I mean, why us? There are commercial banks in Nigeria. Apart from the ease and automation that we offer, we are also finally attuned to the needs of young people. Like I said, our major age bracket is 18 to 40, and these people are tech savvy. They don't want to operate with paperwork, and we offer a high barrier to withdrawal. Users can only take money from the platform once a quarter, and outside of that, withdrawal attracts penalty charges. The market is very big. In Nigeria, we have about 10 million people who fit the profile of our customers, so we are trying to penetrate that market fully before we then expand to other countries. We operate an asset under management model, and so that allows us to make about 9% monthly on our average float. We also make money from the early withdrawal fees. So far, we have been in operation since April 2016. We've managed to amass 16,000 registered users organically. 5,500 of them have savings plans, and we've saved over 215 million naira, which translates to roughly $700,000. We are raising $2.5 million to get to 500,000 active users who will be saving $330 million by the end of 2020. That will give us revenues of about $30.1 million, and we hope that you guys want to work with us and help Nigeria save. Future direction, we understand that our major aim is to help people make better financial decisions. So we want to move into other parts like investments and financial advisory, where we crowdsource investments and just basically help empower youth to make better financial decisions. This is my team. We have been working together from when we were in college. We all graduated at different times, but we have worked together on several ventures. And our advisory board is made up of people who have been working with us since we were really young. Thank you for listening.
Excellent.
Thank you, Odin. I look specifically at financial services in Africa, and this is one of the most interesting things I've seen come out for a long time. Thank you. When you say savings, it's slightly misleading because you are investing the money.
Yes.
Right? So it's not a federally insured deposit account or an omnibus account in a big bank.
Okay, so the way it works is that we are in partnership with some of the commercial banks in Nigeria. So while we don't have our own banking license yet, the deposits are insured by the corporation in our accounts with the bank.
So then you invest those, right? Somewhere else?
We invest the money based on the advice of the bank. We have a non-exclusive partnership with the banks where we act on that based on their advice, so it's technically covered.
Right, but if I lose my money because of your investments, you still pay me back?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So that was the question. One piece of advice is to look very quickly into credit to make those margins, and then also think about target-based savings. So when you're doing the auto-save feature, maybe do layaway plans, like do you want to buy your next bike, or because that really attracts people.
It's written there, like all the packages and all of that.
So that's just me being a fool.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Okay. Audience, one question.
Hi. Great product. My name is Yomi. I'm founder of Zero Beauty. Do you offer any, or do you give any insights to your users? So if I was saving, if I was on your platform, what would make me want to save more is if I can compare myself to other people, either in my location or around me or the same demographics as me, to help me to see where I am in my savings, sort of.
Okay, so culturally, Nigerians are very private with their finances. Some people, even though we've grown organically, people find it difficult to even tell people they are saving. So we've asked this question in a survey where we would like to send out tweets like you are doing better than 30% of people in your area. But even then, people are like, no, don't share that with me. I don't want to talk about money with someone I don't know, or I don't want to see what other people are doing. So we've asked these questions because we've seen people like Digit do it, but it doesn't really work for the culture for people that live in Nigeria, because a lot of them don't want that. So we have to work on it.
Okay, thank you very much. A round of applause for